Hey guys, welcome to Science Week of April 13th. When you start science, you'll click on your science team tile, and under here you have your calendar of what we will be doing day by day. It's for science and social studies. Okay, so on Mondays and Wednesdays we have science. On Tuesdays and Thursdays we have social studies, and this calendar is posted both in science and in the social studies teams tile. You have your Brain Pop login up here. Okay, and there's a list of activities that you need to do each day with the hyperlinks on the bottom. All right, so we're going to get started with our PowerPoint. So at the beginning of the PowerPoint, it shows you here the list of activities. You have the week to do them. You are going to view this learning video. After the learning video is done, you will go on to Brain Pop, and this link, if you click on it, it will take you straight to the Brain Pop area. See how the hyperlink popped up? You'll watch the video on force. At the end, there is a review video that review quiz that you're going to take. Then after you take the review quiz, you will take the graded quiz. Once you're done, you're going to log back into Teams. And on Teams, you'll see here that it says Brain Pop Quiz. I want you to click View Assignments. And then in there, if it lets you just post a note to me, I want you to send me the score of your Brain Pop quiz. Okay, if it doesn't, you can attach a document and just type your score and then hit turn in. It's important that you hit turn in, otherwise I will not get your grade. Okay, so after you do the Brain Pop quiz, you're done for Monday. On Wednesday, you will review the video again. You can log into Quizlet. Again, this hyperlink right here works if you click on it. You will review the vocabulary for the lesson. Then you'll log into Study Island. You'll review the lesson. You'll review the flashcards if there are any flashcards attached. And then you will do the practice. You must do the lesson and then the flashcards before you do the practice. Otherwise, the activity will not record. Okay, I don't expect this lesson to be easy because I'm not teaching it to you in school. So you can do the practice test as many times as you need to until you reach that grade of a 75. And you have until Friday to complete the activity. Okay, so this week we're working on the first stage of energy and motion. Okay, energy and motion has to do with any object that has that moves has energy. Okay, so that includes a rolling ball, wind, running water, and we're going to talk about how size, if things are the same size, how that matters, how things go faster or slower, how that matters. Okay, so anything that has energy or gains energy moves faster. Anything that loses energy slows down. Okay, so pretend you and your friends, you're at recess, you're on the field, you're throwing baseballs across the field, and the balls are the same size. Okay, so if you have two baseballs, same exact size, the ball that is actually being thrown or moving the fastest has the most energy. But if you have two different size balls that are moving the same speed, like a bowling ball and a baseball, and they're both rolling 60 miles an hour, then that bowling ball is going to have more energy because the larger the mass, the more energy it has if they're moving at the same speed. Okay, so we're going to talk about collisions. Okay, collision is when two objects hit or run into each other. So pretend you and your friends are in class and you're not paying attention and you bump into each other. That's a collision. Okay, one person is walking fast, the other person is maybe not moving, and you bump into each other and you collide. You make contact, you touch each other, you make contact with each other. Same thing with vehicles, right? We're all driving on the road and we always hear motor vehicle collision. That means an accident. Two cars collided, they hit against each other and they caused an accident or they caused a collision. Okay, so if the objects are in contact with each other, contact forces between them can change their movement or their motion. Okay, so if you have a car that's moving 60 miles an hour and it collides with a car that's driving 30 miles an hour, okay, that energy gets transferred from vehicle to vehicle. So the car that's driving faster ends up slowing down and losing the energy. And the car that was moving slow ends up being the one that gets hit the most, and it ends up having or gaining more energy, and it moves faster. Okay, the rest of that energy, because not all of the energy can be absorbed by the slower vehicle or the slower object, the rest of that energy goes into the air. It turns into heat energy, it turns into sounds. So if you think about two cars that collide, usually part of that energy or that collision, you hear a huge crash or bang. Okay, so that energy that is caused in the collision, that transfers in that collision, part of that goes into a sound. And that's how people can hear that an accident has happened. Okay, so at the bottom you can see it says that the two billiard balls on a pool table, ball one is moving at 5 meters per second. It hits into ball two, which has the same mass or same size as ball one. So if ball one loses all its energy of motion and it collides into ball two, okay, ball two is the one that ends up absorbing the energy and moving, and then ball one slows down and stops. Okay, so in that collision, like I said, ball one, it's lost its energy. So the energy went somewhere else. It went into ball two. So ball two that maybe wasn't moving, it ends up gaining that energy and it moves. Okay, so imagine playing pool, right? You would take your cue ball. Your cue ball is the one that has the energy, and you have to hit a specific ball on the table, right? That ball standing still, it has no energy, it's not moving. And then all of a sudden, that cue ball hits into the ball that you want, and then the cue ball slows down and stops. And the ball that you've hit, it gains energy and it rolls and it moves. And that's a collision. Okay, and here we go. Here's our car collision. Okay, when the car hits a brick wall, the front end of the car changes the shape because the wall doesn't have any type of energy because it doesn't move. It can't move. It's in the same spot. Okay, so because there's no energy that can be transferred into the wall, it forces the car to crush or get smashed or change the shape and size. Same thing with a can, right? So a lot of people like to crush soda cans. You can't crush exchange energy with a can. A can can't accept the energy, so it gets crushed. Okay, so a boy stomps the can. The boy is moving his foot. So the more energy of motion he has in his foot, the more force that's applied to the can. Okay, the more force that's applied to the can crushes or changes shape. The wall in the example with the car is that force. Okay, that force causes the car to change shape. Okay, so that's just a mini lesson. Right now, you're going to log into BrainPop. You're going to view the lesson on force. I want you to take those 2 quizzes. And then you can take a break for Monday. On Wednesday, go back. I want you to view this video again for any types of tips that you might need. I want you to practice the Quizlet vocabulary words. Log into Study Island, review the lesson, review the flashcards if there are any, and then take the practice assignment or the practice test that's there and repeat it until you get a 75. Okay, if you have any questions, post it on the Teams page under Science, and I am available for you guys to, if you have any trouble. Okay?